Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
What?
morning.
It's Friday. It's Freestyle Friday.
It is.
What is going on, guys?
It
How's it
is
going?
October 2nd. Can you believe it?
October 2nd. Can you believe
Yes.
it?
No.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth
Here we
Mhm.
quarter.
go. Yep.
Yep. So it's Freestyle Friday. That means we're just going to open up the chat. Comment below if you have any questions, any comments, whatever we're going to chat about is what's going to come up. And right now, I don't know if you guys can tell, we're all wearing band t-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
What was your
Love
best
it.
concert? Let's talk about our favorite concert.
I need
Your
to
first
think
concert.
on
What
that.
was your first
Okay.
concert, Michelle
Jethro
Martini?
Tull.
Okay, Courtney, go ahead.
Jethro Tull. I was 3 years old.
Who is that?
Um, are you serious? Okay. So Jethro Tull. I need to make him a playlist, clearly. I think he was real big in the 70s, both in 80s, but anyway, 80s, pop culture. But I come from a family of musicians, so that's a loaded question. Then I was a tour manager for a few years. So as far as the best one I've been to, yeah, probably like a most recent few years ago, like going back after it'd been like a year or two since my last one and remembering, hey, this is why you love this, and going back sober, that made a difference. But yeah, I love the culture of it, everything, all of it.
What about you, Michelle? What was your first concert?
My first concert was Rick Springfield.
Ah, Jesse's
Yeah.
girl.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My favorite concert, I think I would have to say, is Guns N' Roses, which
Ooh.
was about 4 years ago with my best friend, Kristen, who gets on here sometimes. And it was amazing because we were in our mid 40s and felt like we were 18. And we were on the front, right in front of the stage. I've got amazing pictures of all those guys. It was the original band, all of them up close. It was incredible. It was so
Wow.
much fun.
And you are rocking the Guns N' Roses style headband.
Yeah, got my Axl
Yes.
Rose. Yeah, representing.
And
Yeah.
AC/DC.
ACDC.
Love it. So my first concert,
Yes.
Beastie
First and
Boys.
favorite.
Beastie Boys. I came to Dallas. That was my first concert ever. I don't even remember what year it was. Best concert ever, Beastie Boys. That's it. That's all there
Yeah.
is. That's all
That's all there is.
That's all there is. There's nothing else. There's nothing else.
it.
A close second would be Carlos Santana.
Mm.
Close second would be very, very close second. It would be Carlos Santana. And
Yeah.
me and Jesse went to that concert of last year, and it was fabulous. One of probably, yeah, very close second by 2 millimeters. Beastie Boys, then Carlos Santana.
I remember hearing y'all talk about that one last year.
It was a fabulous, fabulous concert. But first
Man.
concert, Beastie Boys, and it was at some hockey arena for some reason. It was like some kind of hockey arena. And the thing that I remember the most was we didn't have floor seats. We didn't get floor seats to this concert. So you would go up to like the rail and then wait for the lights to go down and then jump off and then have to run from the security guards because the security guards would be chasing people that were jumping from the stands to the floor. And it was a pretty good jump. It was like 7 feet.
Wow.
8 feet. It was a good jump. It was very intimidating, but I mean, there was a lot of chemical things going on at that concert.
Assistance,
so I didn't really have time to get in my head. And so the plan was the lights go down and people started jumping, but we waited like 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. So the security guards were chasing all the other people that were jumping from the stands to the floor. And so then we jumped off and then we ran. And I was like, ah! Because if they caught you, they would kick you out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to have that. So I was like running. And I didn't even, like, my other buddies didn't get kicked out either. But that was like the one thing I remember.
You had to time it perfectly.
You did have to time it. Yes, it was like this thing. And yeah. That's the one thing I remember. And there was a high jump, and I was like, ah, and then I landed, and I was like, nothing's broken, run.
Yeah. Not saying that we advise doing that, but I love how you said, you didn't have time to get in your head. Just go for it. Just go.
Yeah.
But
I really
maybe don't
didn't.
jump off stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good 7 foot because it was the rail, right? And they had the rail and the wall, so you had to kind of like it was like one fell swoop, like you didn't have time. You couldn't stand on the wall, right? So you had to just go over. It was pretty intense. It was pretty
Facing your
intense.
So
fears.
comment below and tell us what your favorite concert moment, because after that, I kind of don't want to ask like, hey, what's the best concert? I would ask like, what's the craziest thing you've ever
Yeah.
done at a concert? But
Favorite
tell us
concert
below
moment.
what your favorite is.
A really
Favorite concert,
cool,
first concert, best concert, anything
Yeah.
concert related. Go ahead, Michelle.
a really cool concert moment that I had is I took my oldest son to Hinder. Do y'all remember Hinder? They were
Yes.
kind of a one-hit
They-
wonder, but they had the song "Lips of an Angel." So we went
Didn't
to
the
that
country
concert.
start it? Yeah, I remember.
We went to that. Yeah, there was a country remake of that song, but we stayed back because they had after the concert they had an opportunity to get an autograph, and so we stayed back, and we ended up being the last ones in line, and we ended up hanging out with the band for like an hour after the concert. So that was really cool.
Whoa,
Yeah,
That's awesome. He got
it
that.
was
Yeah.
fun.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Oh, I love it.
Man.
I spent a lot of time where I wanted to be a rock photographer. Like that's a thing. I mean, it probably is. But I was like, I just want to capture moments. I just want to capture moments. And I have this amazing picture that was taken in 2005 on a friend's camera. And Will Hogue, who one of my favorite musicians that he's had a few hits here and there, but I guess never really made it big. He sells a lot of songs that he writes now as well. But he got really into it, kind of like a Mick Jagger with like Bruce Springsteen kind of style with some Tom Petty thrown in there. But he knocked his microphone over and he had his, guitar in his hand, but it was right after a major guitar riff, major. So like you couldn't really pick up the mic stand and get down. So he laid down on the floor and finished the verse. And I have this picture of Will Hogue from '05 laying on the floor, like you can see the moment. And I still wanted to be a rock photographer. So
I'm clearly very out of tune. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Nobody ever does. I'm telling you, he didn't
Like,
make, y'all gotta
none.
understand. I work for like underground. Yeah, he had a song in a Chevy commercial, but most musicians that I've been the massive fans of haven't been the Billboard chart toppers. Those aren't really my favorite.
So last night
like
when
authentic.
we were chatting about concerts, Michelle brought up that I was joking with her because I know she's a rock chick, right? She's an 80s. She's a true guys. I don't even know how to explain
80s
it.
hair
Like,
bands.
To the bone.
Michelle is the 80s hair band fan without a doubt. So I was
Yes.
picking on her and I said, hey, just pull out your New Kids on the Block concert, the poster, right? Thinking she would be like, New Kids on the Block. What? No, I'm Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard, baby. And she told me that she was talking about how she went to the New Kids on the Block concert back in 2011. And that is the same concert my wife Jessie went to. How about that?
That's awesome. I
How about
remember that
that?
concert. Yeah. I
What's-
didn't go.
what's-
I didn't say that.
And
But
Jessie,
What's funny?
at that concert, Jessie got groped by a new kid.
Oh,
And I think one of them kissed her on the lips. Which I'm
Oh
still
my gosh.
I'm keeping my eye on you, dude. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the young one,
The young one.
the little baby one. I don't remember his name. But
Joey, or
Oh,
I think
that sounds fun, Jesse.
yeah. So one of these guys, or Donnie, one of them kissed her on the lips because she like, I don't know, whatever. And she came home and told me, and I was like, I just gave her evil eye.
Yeah.
shout out to Tony. Tony, my son, is on here. He said
Hey, Tony.
We sure did with
We
the
sure
Hinder
did.
concert. So
Yep.
fun.
Tony, what's your favorite concert you ever went to? Or I guess if it would be the same one, that just
What's your
sounds-
favorite concert? What's your first concert? What's your best concert? Oh,
It was Donnie. Donnie. Aw.
Who, by the way, is Mark Wahlberg's brother. That's pretty cool.
I got my eye on you, Donnie. Still,
Have y'all ever
for
eaten at
kissing my
a
wife?
what's it called? Wahlburgers. Have y'all ever eaten at a Wahlburgers?
We should
I
go
think there
over
was-
there. There's one opening in Frisco.
That's what
I
I was
know
about to
it.
say. They're growing. I ate at the one in Cincinnati one time at a network marketing convention. It was good. But anyway, yeah, they have a
We should
line
go
of
hang out.
restaurants too.
Man, good concert moments. Good
Yes.
concerts. What else?
Oh,
Beastie
let's see.
Boys. It was all about Beastie Boys for
Yeah.
me. I would never miss a Beastie Boys concert.
How
Everything
many
else
have you
was
gone
just
to?
everyone in Dallas.
I
Every
love it.
concert that they had in Dallas. I would not miss it in Dallas. We would come over here to go to the show.
I love that it's like not the first or second Beastie Boys shirt I've seen him in either. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I've seen you in like 5
right.
others as well on top of that. But love
So
it.
there was one concert that I didn't have the money to go to. And so I started working at there was this establishment back in East Texas in the Longview area called the Chicken Ranch. And let's just say it was questionable, right? And I got a job there. Doing odd things, odd jobs, cleaning after folks and stuff like that, right? But it was like a questionable establishment, let's just say that.
That's a good way to phrase it.
And yeah, after they paid me and I had money to buy my ticket, I quit. I never went back to work.
Hey,
But
you got your concert moment you needed.
You were resourceful.
I had to be resourceful, man. I had to be resourceful. Let's see.
Yeah.
Tony, Hinder was awesome. 3 Days Grace, Caesar, and Brink and Benjamin was probably the best lineup together I've been to.
That would
Speaking
be a
of
good one.
rock,
Yes.
Yes.
So I raised my kids to love rock music.
Yes.
So I'm glad that it's funny that my kids are very musical and love music, and all three of them are the type that know the lyrics to virtually every song that comes on. So it's fun.
I
love
went to
that.
ACDC several years ago at American Airlines Center. That was a cool
I did
concert.
too. ACDC was awesome.
Every ACDC was cool. I
I've seen them
remember
one time. They're good.
I have fond memories of being younger and my brother jamming out ACDC, Kiss, and ZZ Top in his cars,
Mm.
in his vehicles. That's what he would
Oh,
listen to. And I remember him talking about Texas Jam. I don't know if that's Michelle. I'm looking at you. I don't know. Was that a thing? Texas Jam at
I don't
Texas
know what that is.
Stadium?
I don't know what that is
Like
either.
it was like
Was it like a
Oh.
festival or something?
Yeah, it was
Maybe
like
so. Yeah.
like-
I didn't go to that, but that
Michelle's
sounds
like,
familiar.
yeah. I was like,
I missed that.
no, for some reason I get the feeling I didn't go to that. Wink, wink,
Right.
wink,
I
wink.
really didn't know.
I don't know what that is. Wink, wink.
You know what's funny?
Oh, the
That-
cat's going off over here. Michelle says we'll talk about it after the show.
No,
No.
he is lying on live TV.
I love how he likes to throw Michelle under the bus sometimes.
I know.
Oh.
What's up with that?
'Cause you're so
I
fun.
was joking. I was joking. She did not say that. I did not say that. Mr. and Mrs. Holmes. She did not say that.
What's funny is my parents were very strict in that regard with me, and then by the time my brother got to junior high school age, it was like, not
Yeah.
so strict anymore, which is typical with parents. It's like the first child, you have all these rules, and then you're like, whatever. But
How did that make you feel?
very jealous.
I would credit that's why I got into concerts so much, because my sister's 3 years older than me, and I wouldn't have said I had strict parents. I don't know how they did it, but they let us do anything, but we ended up being all right. But like the week I turned 16, they let me go to Austin on a Friday for a concert and stay with a friend. And like looking back, I'm like, why? How? No. But I mean, I would in high school, a trip to Austin halfway through the week, I just had to be on top of my grades and my homework. And like, I remember talking to 2 different teachers, and they let me skip out early so I could hit the road early, because it was like a Wednesday night and I wanted to get to Austin for like, I don't know, I think it was a Gavin DeGraw and Michael Tolcher concert at that time. But up to Tulsa, Arkansas, like I've kind of 5-6 hours each direction. I made it like that was me for a decade. And I don't know, I'm a conundrum because my mother, I joke, this isn't quite true, but I joke that I'm the second child of a musician in a groupie who got married. Now, my mother is a classy woman, okay? But she was a member of the Kiss Army. And my
Kiss
dad,
Army! Yeah.
he is the actual, so she's the hard rock, like, yeah, like the harder the better, you know? And so that definitely, I relate to that. And then my dad is a folk Americana musician. And granted, he, you know, the James Taylor, the Eagles, all that, you know. So I had this weird, and then I ended up being like a white girl obsessed with old blues. So I'm like, I don't know how this ended up, but it's definitely been a fun ride with, I don't know, all my just underground musicians. Like I love, there's a handful that 10, 15 years, you know, just been a big fan of them and to watch them grow. And now they've stopped doing that because they've started having children or, you know, or they were doing good in COVID, you know, now they're doing live streams every week or something. But like, it's been a fun journey. I kind of like, I don't know. I wanted to be a tour manager so bad. I was like, I'm going to make everyone's dreams come true, you guys. And then I realized they don't make that much money.
All right.
I was like, well, but so fun.
Second question, comment below. First concert, best concert. Well, who is an artist or artist who you wish you would have had the chance to see live and you haven't?
Prince.
Prince.
Mm-hmm.
No hesitation there.
No,
I love that.
He was on my list. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
James Brown for me.
I was okay. I was about to say James Brown's on. Oh wow. Okay.
James Brown. Michelle.
I'm gonna say Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, Michael Jackson.
Who died on my birthday.
Goodness.
He died on my birthday.
Oh no.
Mm.
It was a sad birthday.
That is sad.
He and Farrah Fawcett both.
Okay, so I know that you guys have seen the videos of Michael Jackson tours where he's singing and on stage and people are just bawling and crying. Do y'all think y'all would get that emotional with Michael Jackson?
No.
I would never get that emotional with
anyone
I don't know personally.
Yeah.
I mean, like, do y'all remember these videos? Like these people are like crying.
I mean, there probably was a moment when I was like 10 with Hanson where I maybe was like, but like adult age, no. I think every girl deserves to go through their teeny bopper phase.
Maybe we're missing something with the concert energy if we haven't been brought to weeping tears like that.
Right? How much deeper can we go?
I think that's an indication of attachment that's a little too strong.
Well, I don't know. Michelle, let's see. Guns N' Roses takes you on stage and sings November Rain to you. Would that
No, I'll scream and yell and dance and have fun, but I'm not going to cry no.
Well, because we see that all the time too when the artist will pull a girl on stage and serenade her. She's just like...
Now, I've cried because songs were touching, but I mean, I'm not talking like that. I'm talking like a teardrop or two, but like not, like you're having a moment with yourself because of the song. It's not that
the artist
in front of you. Yeah, it's not the presence of the artist. And that's where, like, I've always, every concert to this day, unless like Hanson didn't or X Ambassadors didn't come out and meet and greet, but like, you know, if at certain levels, the artists will come out and mingle at the end of the show. And so I've always been a big fan of tell the artist what you appreciated and give them a specific about the show. And like, oh, that song really touched me or this really touched me. So like granted, I'm into a lot of folks who you probably haven't heard of on the radio, right? So it's like that opportunity's there, but like, that's what I love is actually being able to tell the artists themselves what you think of it and watch their reaction and like tell them how you genuinely connected with the song or not or whatever. But like nothing can touch that for me. And I don't know, just to watch their face when you see that. So granted, you can't do that with the Prince and Michael Jackson of the world, but it's
being able to express the appreciation.
Yeah, just give like same thing in regular life. Like tell people when you're like, oh, that's really, I admire this about you, or I love this, or this really touched me or moved me, you know? So kind of the same thing. And I don't know, I guess that's a trait of my personality.
The one concert that I'm going to miss, that I miss already is the Beastie Boys concert that never happened. I imagine myself. I imagine myself taking Sebastian to a Beastie Boys concert. Like that was gonna be his first concert,
Oh,
and it's never gonna happen. All right, let's go look here.
Okay.
John Nelson. Oh my goodness.
oh,
Oh
Man.
wow.
I would
Yeah.
love to
Ooh.
have seen
We had an Elvis
concert.
hallway because my mother was such a fan of him. And yeah.
John Nelson says Elvis was his first concert in 1977.
Man, where was that Elvis concert at, John? Can you tell us in the comments?
That's
so
amazing.
cool.
Oh, our friend Margot. Hello, Margot. I wish I had seen Aerosmith in concert or the Beatles. Ooh, the
Yeah.
Beatles.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
The
yeah.
that would have
Beatles
been
would have
great
been so
too.
good. What was your first concert, Margot? What was your first concert?
Yeah.
Man, Elvis. Can you imagine
Yeah.
Elvis being your first concert? Wow.
That would have been
Yeah.
amazing.
I would have. Do y'all think Elvis would still be performing today if he was still alive? I think so.
Have y'all ever, and this, I'm not saying I have an opinion on this either way, but there's a lot of compelling stories of, well, the whole Elvis faked his own death thing, to each his own. I'm not about to get on that soapbox, but but there's some compelling stories and recordings and things of a guy named Jesse. Now, Elvis was born with a twin that didn't make it named Jesse. And he basically, this man, I think he died about 10 years ago, but he went by Jesse, and he would release recordings to a fan base, an Elvis fan base on some website. And basically, if you listen to these recordings, it's some pretty compelling sound. So yeah, I don't know if I don't know. It really cracked my brain open. But so ironically, just to throw that out there, if he faked his own death, he was still performing and getting recordings out. But Elvis was, I took I stayed in Memphis for a month with a friend once when I was 19, maybe 20. And we went to every Elvis tour there was. We did Graceland, we did Sun Studios, we did Rock and Soul Museum. We did I got to sit there and stare at the sheet, his original note piece where he wrote Suspicious Minds on. And I just I did the tour and I'd already stared at it, but I went back to be with it again. I backtracked in the museum because but yeah, I was you need to savor this moment. He wrote Suspicious Minds on this notepad. What?
Wow.
So I really
I love this story.
anyway,
Look at you
I'm
lighting
really
up.
worked out on I love Elvis.
All
Yeah.
right. Back to Elvis. John Nelson says he saw Elvis in Amarillo in March of 1977. And yes, I believe he died in August. So you saw him on his last year.
Yeah, that's where I was wondering because I saw 77 and I know.
Okay, here's the question.
Lover
Margot
Boy.
said Loverboy. Who remembers Loverboy? That was Margot's first concert. Loverboy.
Definitely. That would be a good one.
That is 80s got written what
The album cover just had a butt on it. Come on, if that's not 80s,
So Margot and I
Levi
went to high
jeans.
school together. So we're speaking the same language here.
So let me
I
say
like your
this.
style, Margot.
Why don't we have band or singer names like Loverboy anymore?
I know.
Man, that's a great.
We don't have names like that, like Loverboy. Oh, you know exactly who that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly who Loverboy is. And now it's they use their real names. How boring is that?
Right? Like Scorpion or like
Yeah.
Bon Jovi used their real name, but that was a twist on it. You know? Or
this
it
is
was
cool.
his real name.
I was in the 6th grade. My mom worked in the radio station and she got free tickets.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Man.
That is awesome.
Man, perks of working at a radio station.
One of my favorites was Poison and Slaughter. That was a great concert.
Ooh, Poison.
Yeah.
I do love Poison.
Oh man, I remember the Poison. Ooh. Okay. So back in the 80s, I'm glad that my mom is not watching because we're fixing to talk about some stuff. Okay. So I remember back in the 80s and I bought the Poison tape. Look What the Cat Dragged In.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was doing something bad.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I better hide this. I can't let my mom see this. Right along with Motley Crue, Girls, Girls, Girls.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
yeah.
so I like hid that stuff. I hid it. And then I'd be watching the video, and was it Van Halen or David Lee Roth, Hot for the Teacher? I
Hmm.
would have to turn the channel real quick because I would be scared that my mom would catch me watching these videos because I was like, oh. And
Oh, that's hilarious.
so let's see, Jessie. Oh yeah, I took Jessie to her first concert was Vicente Fernandez.
Mm, that
Go
sounds
ahead, go ahead,
enchanting.
go ahead. Act like you know. Act like
I
you know
don't
who
know,
that
but
is.
that
I don't
sounds
know.
enchanting.
So Vicente is an old crooner. He's an old Mexican crooner. So he's famous. He's worldwide famous. He's older though. He's older, and he was older when we went to go see him. And his thing was drinking tequila while he was performing, and he would get drunk on stage, and that's what everyone would pay to see. That's what everyone pays to see is for him to get drunk and just start going off and start doing stuff. And he sang for 4 hours, guys.
Wow.
And he says in English and in Spanish, right? Because it's a majority Mexican crowd. So he would say, they wanted me out of here at 10 o'clock and they're going to find me, but F them. And then took a shot of tequila. He's like, I'll pay the fine. I'll pay the fine. He's like, y'all want some more? He's like, we'll go all night if you guys want to. I'll pay the fine. They're not going to kick all of us out and all of this stuff. So, favorite concert for Jessie is Beyonce. Yeah, that was a good concert.
That sounds
but
bad.
Oh man, that reminds me of when I went to go see Aretha Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me when I went to go see Aretha. She was mean too. She was telling them like she went over also. She's like, they're not gonna kick us out. She was like, what are they gonna do? Kick me out? I was like, man, you're like diva. And the funny story about that is like apparently she gets a little moody at times. And this was at Grand Prairie Nokia. And they have the 2 closed circuit cameras up there, right? So they have a cameraman that walks around to catch the footage for the big screens. And she was getting upset at them for some reason. She's like, I told you no video. I told you no video. And they were trying to explain to her that it was closed circuit, that it wasn't being recorded. I told you no video. She's like, I'll walk out right now if you don't take that camera out of my face. They took the camera out of her face.
Well, what Aretha wants, Aretha gets.
Yeah, man. But man, she would get down when she went to church. Like she went to church, man. We were all in church. Like you felt the spirit come in. She brought him in there. Like you just felt it, and it was just like this thing. Let's see who else. Stevie Wonder. When I saw Stevie Wonder at Nokia.
Stevie Wonder would be great.
He was great too. He was great too. Let's see. Jessie says concerts missed: Michael Jackson, James Brown, and Prince. Prince is on the list.
Yeah. Man, like you want to talk about, I think he's really underrated with a lot of like younger folks like me that just don't, I don't know, all they know is a handful of Prince songs. But man, you want to talk about somebody who infused their soul into their music, and when they performed, like, Prince fascinates me. He really does.
He was funny. Like we watched him on an episode of The New Girl. And he really just played up the Prince. He had like a little butterfly following him around. And they were making comments like, well, if Prince says he wants time with your girlfriend, you give Prince time along with your girlfriend. Like, and they would just refer to him as Prince. Like, well, if Prince says this, you do what Prince says.
Yeah.
But he dropped some zingers on that comedy show.
And Purple Rain's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good one.
Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Man, I think his birthday just came by. I saw a lot of Prince posts a couple of weeks ago.
Well, happy belated birthday, Prince.
What else music related? And by the way, we're talking about concerts and shows because the word of the week is drum.
Drum.
Yes.
Drum.
What is your favorite drum solo?
Ooh.
Any song.
En la Cara de Vida.
Okay.
Like there is anything else. when it
I-
comes to drum solos.
I'll have to listen to that so I know what he's talking about.
Unless I have if I have the name wrong, please let me know.
Oh, man. Let's see.
Oh, Miguel says, I've only been to one concert in my life. My wife and I saw Shakira in LA.
I bet
that
Shakira
was
would be fun.
Shakira.
Yeah.
Margot says, I bet Queen would have been an awesome concert. Yes, Prince would have been fabulous. That was my first cassette tape. My grandmother bought it for me.
Nice.
Guess what my
Wow.
first cassette tape was that I actually bought?
What?
Beastie
Beastie
Boys.
Boys. That's the first and best. Yeah.
First tape that I actually bought.
When you were talking earlier about your mom, and you felt like you were doing a bad thing by getting these cassette tapes, I was a cheerleader, and we had a dance routine to Van Halen, and my mom did not want me listening to that kind of music at the time, and so she did not want me to get the tape. But I was like, "But Mom, I have to have the tape to practice the routine so that I can do it for the football game." And so I convinced my mom to let me buy Van Halen. So she was not happy about me listening to that music. And the cover of their tape or record or album or whatever was a baby smoking a cigarette with angel wings. So it was like,
Just helped a lot, didn't it? It helped.
yeah, that helped a lot. I was like, I have to have it.
Jessie says her favorite drum solo was Carlos Santana's wife,
Ooh,
female drummer Cindy Blackman Santana. Yeah,
Thank you for giving her name. I'm going to look up a drum solo.
You need to look her up. She's awesome.
I'm
Real
intrigued.
quick, before we sign off, we can't talk about music, favorite concerts, cassette tapes, without giving a big shout out and honorable mention to BMG and Columbia House.
Mm-hmm.
Who still owes Columbia House money?
I think I threw away an old catalog where I ran across one in an old box of a CD catalog, and I'm like, man, I used to remember the days I would come in. I'm like, I get to pick 3. Yeah, big days.
Man.
If you don't know what we're talking about in the days of iTunes and just click and listen,
You have no idea.
the excitement of when those would come in.
You had to tape a penny to
fingertips
this. This offer would come in the mail, and you would tape a penny to it, and then you would fill out the tapes that you want. Then you would send it back, and they would send you these boxes of tapes that you picked out, and then they would send you tapes monthly and charge you money. But then you just ignore it, fill out another one with a different name, and they would send you more tapes.
Oh, is that how it was done, Ricardo?
Yeah, it seems like you could do it once a year or every 6-8 months or something like that. You fill out another one, and they send you more tapes. They just kept sending you tapes, and you just tape that little penny on there with all that stuff.
Oh man.
Sandy.
Yeah. That's my favorite. That's my favorite drum solo. My dad playing Wipeout. Yes.
The Beach Boys. I haven't thought about them in a while.
So
Man,
my
I'm
dad,
gonna make a list after this. Yeah.
My dad is an amazing drummer, and I love to hear him play. It's so cool. It's awesome. But him playing Wipeout, that's my favorite drum solo. Thanks, Mom.
That's
honorable mention to the Beach Boys and the other version that came out in the 80s, the Beach Boys and the Fat Boys, when they redid Wipeout.
That's true. Oh man. Yeah. My brain is just freaking love music.
That's so good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, she said it. We didn't. Just kidding.
Showing
That's
your
what you
age,
get for teasing
Grandpa.
it so much before.
I'll be telling Jessie some stories about when I was younger. She's like, "Tell me more, Grandpa."
I want to say one personal development thing about music is it's a great way to change your state. So if you're in a bad mood, you can put the right music on and it'll change your state so quickly. So I have my playlist, and only certain very special songs go on my playlist, and I pull it out when I need it. So when I went to do my photo shoot for my website and all of that, I was nervous. And so I pulled out my playlist and listened to it on the way. It's the one I sent you, Courtney.
Yeah.
What's on your playlist?
Loved it.
It's got This Girl Is on Fire. It's got
This
a couple. This Is Me from The
Lady
Greatest
Gaga song.
Showman. Yes. Rise Up by Andra Day, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. You got some Outcasts on there. She's got some Pump Up.
Yeah, hey,
that
yeah,
thing,
because that makes you can't listen to that song and not dance. So it's like, and every now and then I'll hear a song and I'm like, oh, that's going on the playlist. But it's a short playlist because it has to be a song that really changes my state to go on it. But it works. It works. So if you're in a bad mood, if you're having a bad day, put together a playlist that it'll change your mood and so fast, or give you confidence. Like This Girl Is on Fire gives me so much confidence when I listen to that. So yeah.
I was listening to that yesterday thinking of you. Yeah.
Really?
Michelle sent it to me on a day I was nervous about something. And she's like, hey, well, listen to this. So knowing that was built by Michelle, I don't know. Music is such a thing that if you let your soul really appreciate it, it truly is one of the most effective tools to raise your vibration or lift your state or change your state. There's whatever verbiage you usually use, get in a better mood, like the actual quickest and most effective in the shortest time frame is a song that resonates with you. So maybe there's a way we can all share our favorite playlists or something for you guys. But like, Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
Miguel brought up Eye of the Tiger. And like last year, I was driving along with my windows rolled down and like blaring, whatever. I pulled up to a red light and windows rolled down and rocking out Eye of the Tiger. And this guy was just next to me, just glaring at me and just glaring at me. And so as I drove away, I was just like, you're welcome. And I was singing along I think I sang it to him. I was like, I hope your day gets better, man. But
gotta love Eye of the Tiger. Whenever I hear it, I go around the living room like I'm punching things. Like I'm like,
yeah.
And then I'll start play punching Jesse. And she's like, what is going on?
I can tell you music can make connections. So Leslie said she added Girl on Fire to her playlist too.
Oh, yeah.
But that's some of my favorite memories are being in the car with my kids jamming out, and so and my best friend and I have a song that it's like, if it comes on, we're texting each other. So it really brings people together too. It can change your state and it can also help build really awesome memories.
Yes, it does. And
Rob Cardenas says, right here, right now, Van Halen.
Thank you. That's a good one, Rob.
That is a good song. And that reminded me of George Michael, Freedom.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Another good one that Tamara shared with us, Good to Be Alive by Andy Grammer. That one has been on my list since then. High Hopes by Panic of the Disco is another just one that a lot of these are UPW anchors for us, to be fair. But you can make your own anchor. Like let's reverse engineer it. Like the song Holding Out by the Lumineers will make me cry happy tears. Why? Because it's an anchor to a moment where you can step right back into that if you allow yourself to emotionally connect to what you're listening to, or just be where your feet are, read behind yourself, so okay. I could keep going, so I'm not going to listen.
Happy tear songs. For me, the Titanic soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Leo and Kate.
I got goosebumps. I thought about that. Yeah.
Leo and Kate. Or Apollo 13 soundtrack. That's also really good.
That's a good one. Man.
But nothing trumps Leo and Kate as far as the scores go. Except for maybe Forrest Gump.
I listen to a lot of worship music, and Oceans is an amazing song. And it literally helped me get over my fear of flying. I would be in the airplane, scared half to death, full of anxiety, high blood. I mean, I was scared to death to fly. And I would put Oceans on and close my eyes, and it would just like calm me so quickly. It was amazing. So that's
how powerful. Listen to how powerful music is.
Yes.
Like this is what we didn't play. I thought we were only going to talk about music and concerts for like 5 minutes, and we were going to go on and move on. But what you just said, Michelle, that's why we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Because
it requires like mind, body, and soul. Like you can't truly enjoy a song unless your brain's in it, your heart's in it. And if both your brain and your heart are engaged, well, honey, your soul's right there with it too. So it's the most modern form of magic.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Because what else? Not medication. There's no medication, nothing involved to get you over that fear.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And nothing
Just
works that
music.
quick. Like even if there is a
Yeah.
drug for it in that category, nothing will work that quick.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's a very resourceful tool. So that's just
Let's see. Margot says, anytime the
Aw.
Titanic song comes on the radio, I would practically have to pull over because I couldn't see through the tears to drive. Me too, Margot. Me
Mhm.
too. Even still.
yeah. That's
Oh, yeah,
Jesse.
I can only imagine. That's
OMG.
definitely an awesome one.
He loves the Titanic. I do love me that movie,
one
man.
song Jesse brought up that when you mentioned worship music, Michelle, Mercy Me, I can only imagine. Thank you, Jesse, for that reminder, because it's probably been 5 years or more since I've heard that song, so I'm going to listen to that. But that is one that it lines up.
Yeah,
everything
definitely.
for a few minutes.
Definitely.
Wow.
Fun.
Good stuff.
Fun topic.
And I'm all emotional, and I'm like,
This was a very
it's
good
like all gushing.
conversation.
Oh,
I know.
real
Just thinking
quick.
about music, not even hearing the music changes our state. Just thinking about these songs, all these songs just come rushing in. Go ahead, Courtney.
I wanted to ask Michelle to have the floor for a minute. Will you tell us about the website, the
thank you.
events of this week, the big launch, and the new name? And will you just,
Yes, I'll be quick. So I did pivot quickly, which is one of the things that I teach about in my workshop, is to be able to pivot, be willing to pivot quickly. It's something I learned the hard way. But I had a professional review my website, which I talked about on Monday, recommended a name change. I changed it and I felt peace about it. I felt right about it, which a couple of days before she even said it, I was like, is this right? Yeah, I had this feeling. But anyway, I got that up. My mastermind workshop is live. I will post the link to it today. I'm so excited. I have worked super, super, super hard on it, and I bring the gold in it. So I'm really, it's going to be good. I'm excited about it, but it is live. You can get to it, and I will post the link today. So
how many modules are up?
3 modules are up. I'm tweaking module 3 today, and then module 4, hopefully we'll have it by today. I have it scheduled for next week, but I'm going to try to get it up today.
And how many total modules?
6 total modules. Module 2 and 3 are split up into different parts, so it's kind of like more than that, but really 6 modules. And on my website, which is martinilifecoach.com now, martinilifecoach.com, I have the trailer video posted and a link to the workshop on there. So it's on my website, posted up now.
I'm so excited. That whole program is full of just nuggets upon nuggets upon nuggets. So
thank you so much for asking about it. I'm really excited, and I've worked really hard on it.
Yes, you have.
Yay.
So proud of you for that.
Make sure you go visit martinilifecoach.com. Hold on. Let me fix it because that does not look right.
I need to still update my Facebook post to change the name since I changed it, but it felt good to pivot quickly. Be like, you know what? It's not too late. Let's do this.
Oh, will you say that last line again?
You know what? It's not too late. Let's do this.
Yep. It felt good to pivot quickly. Like,
yes,
that is, mic drop.
Boom.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. It felt good. I was like, okay, I have peace about it. And that's when you know it's the right decision. So,
and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Which self-acceptance was the root of it all, right? Like once you were like, okay. But your mission just has become more and more clear. You've been on the same mission. Your path of your mission has become more and more clear as you've laid into that. So
definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. We love watching it so much. So check it out.
All right. I think we've said everything.
I think so. It's been a fun conversation.
I don't have anything else to add. Comment below. If you're just now catching it, go back and catch the beginning of this. Tell us about your first concert, your best concert, concerts you missed, songs that changed your state, and anything else.
Mm-hmm. And sing pretty.
And what, Courtney? What does everyone have to do?
They need to share and use hashtag Force for Growth, and you have a chance to win every time you share. Gets another chance in the bucket to win a copy of either Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich or the Medical Medium's Cleanse to Heal. Thank you, Vanna White. And so as well on Apple, if you would be kind enough to leave a review, we're watching those and tracking those. So each review you leave is a drop in the bucket as well. And So you should share. And we are about to wrap up this contest. I'm not sure if we have a deadline yet, but he's going to go through his stash and get some more goodies for the next one. So
Yeah.
win it all. Keep sharing.
I
We
have a
appreciate it
closet
so
full
much.
of goodies. So thank you so
Yes.
much for tuning in. Remember, like and share, leave a review on the podcast. And we'll be back on Monday with what?
Word of the
Word
week.
of the week.
Word of the week. Have a
Yay.
great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.